Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story, homeowners in the city of Venice may see an assessment fee in their near future to help pay for fire services.
This fee would cover an operating budget of more than $4 million for its fire department. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo is joining us now with how it could affect property taxes. Dwayne.
Well, Haley, not only their operational expenses, but their capital expenses as well. And while most residents are okay with the fee, their only question is, how will it affect my tax bill?
Venice resident Mary Eigner loves the city's fire department and gives the city a green light on an assessment fee for homeowners. But there's a caveat.
It would depend entirely on how much the assessment was before I would go for it.
The city of Venice hired a consultant to research options. The goal, implementing a fee structure that will cover the fire department's $4.6 million budget for the year.
It could be a total cost of service, just a fee, it could be a flat fee, it could be apportioned by a lot of different methodologies, types of structure.
Venice City Manager Ed Lavallee says the city will also look at a 10-year projection, focusing on things like staffing, fire trucks, and maintenance for Venice's 3 fire stations.
To flatline the allocation of funding for big items like that over time, you need to build up a base of resources to accommodate those expenses.
Bottom line, says Lavallee, this process is an opportunity to look at the overall cost of an important service.
So before we even get to a determination of how to pay for it, one of the values that will come out of this is a comprehensive look at what the taxpayers are currently paying for this service as it stands.
Eigner agrees and has an idea for the consultants how it could be implemented.
So maybe if it was an assessment that they could do in like a 3-year program or something like that, that might be a way to go. I mean, I don't know. Again, it would depend on how much the assessment is.
Now, once the consultants present their best option for all involved, it's up to the Venice City Council to make the final decision. Back to you.
All right, Dwayne, thank you. A Bradenton couple is accused of carjacking an Uber driver and then leading deputies on a chase. John Suggs and Michelle Bagger were arrested yesterday in Pasco County after a carjacking on 19th Avenue West in Bradenton. Investigators say a 67-year-old Uber driver had just dropped off a customer when Suggs and Bagger jumped into the vehicle. The two did not prearrange the fare, but the driver agreed to take them just down the street. When they arrived, police say Suggs started choking and beating the driver, then pushed him out of the vehicle. The driver was injured and taken to Manatee Memorial Hospital. His vehicle was totaled after Suggs and Bagger crashed during a police pursuit in Pasco County. They now both face felony charges.
Some unsettling moments for passengers flying out of Sarasota Bradenton International Airport today. A United Airlines jet took off from SRQ around 1:30 this afternoon. But soon after, the pilot reported landing gear problems. The plane had around 72 passengers on board, had to circle the Gulf for about an hour and a half to burn off fuel before it eventually landed without incident. Emergency personnel from both Manatee and Sarasota counties were on standby, awaiting the arrival of the plane.
Now to a long-running debate that affects drivers in Florida. Lawmakers will once again at possibly repealing the state's no-fault car insurance laws. Under the current system, drivers are required to carry $10,000 in personal injury protection coverage to help pay for medical expenses after accidents. Senator Jeff Brandes of St. Petersburg says if the law is repealed, premiums would likely go down. His bill also includes a requirement for drivers to carry bodily injury liability coverage.
This proposal simply says, PIP as of 2020 will go away, and in the interim time, the legislature will have a conversation on what the next generation of car insurance is going to look like for the state. But I think we can do it better. I think we can do it smarter and save Floridians money.
The legislature will consider the bill in its upcoming session.
Sarasota County is moving forward with a multi-million-dollar facility for sheriff's office vehicles and equipment. The county wants to build the maintenance and storage center on a lot where Honore Avenue meets Laurel Road. This project is estimated to cost $20 million. It will likely include new vehicle service bays, covered areas for other vehicles, office space, and a refueling station. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is for the plan, but some neighbors are opposed to it. Despite the concerns, the County Commission voted to rezone the property for government use, so it will move forward.
Starting in January, an ordinance banning the sale of commercially bred animals in Sarasota County goes into effect. Now, the owner of a Petland store is suing the county in a final effort to save his business. Earlier this month, county commissioners voted 3-2 in favor of the ordinance following nearly 8 hours of public comment on the issue. Those in favor of the change say many of the animals sold in stores such as Petland often come from substandard breeders and puppy mills. But Petland's owner says this ban is based on emotion and not reality.
There is a small group of people with a very loud voice. They defame us. They'll say anything that they feel like they should be able to say to make us look like we have bad business practices, and it's just not the truth.
The issue stems from the puppy mills up north that are shipping puppies into the state. This was a measure to help put an end to the puppy mills.
The so-called puppy mill ordinance goes into effect on January 27th. Petland's lawyer is hoping a judge will issue a temporary injunction against the rule. Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, we'll bring you the latest on this legal battle. All right, a foggy start to our day
Yep,
here.
we've had a lot of fog. That's kind of been the theme of the week. Let's head over to Bob.
Yeah, fog in and out today. Here's a look at the Van Wezel webcam looking out over Sarasota Bay about 11 o'clock. Starting to clear a little bit, and then it comes back, and then it goes away, and then it comes back again. So it's not over yet, but it looks like there is some brighter skies ahead as we move through tomorrow evening. The fog will not be an issue, I don't think. But tonight it will be 70 degrees, the dew point 66. And again, temperature, dew point getting close to one another, pressure 30.06 inches. And that is holding steady. But high pressure is getting bumped out of here due to this weak front right here. There's a weak cold front that's making its way through parts of North Florida right now. A few showers up to our north. This front will continue to move to the south overnight and eventually push through just after sunrise tomorrow. As far as the fog goes, yes, it will roll on shore and it will thicken up a bit late tonight. More than likely another dense fog advisory for the fourth night in a row. The National Weather Service will more than likely issue that. And then we'll see this clear out of here fairly quickly as those winds switch to the north. With the passage of that cold front, it will bring in some drier and slightly cooler air. Not a big drop in temperature, though. Don't plan on getting a real cold snap here with this next front. As far as the evening planner goes, temperature staying warm up until 11 o'clock with fog around, and we'll have partly cloudy to mostly fair skies above the fog. It looks as though we will see, though, eventually some clearing of that fog out of there. Sea fog just kind of hanging around all day today, backing off at times and then moving on shore at times. The front approaching, though, over north central Florida. More of the forecast. Take a look at the weekend weather coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. The Manatee County Commission will hold a nationwide search to find its next county administrator. Ed Hunziker has been in the position since 2006, and his contract is up in January of 2018. Last night, county commissioners voted not to extend Hunziker's contract and find a replacement instead.
Once again, a leadership position in Bradenton Beach is decided by a card draw. Marilyn Morrow and Ann Leister received 2 votes each to fill the Ward 2 City Commission seat. To break the tie, the candidates were presented a deck of cards. Morrow pulled an ace of spades. Leister pulled a 2. Soon after, Morrow was sworn into office. You may recall a similar card draw decision in Bradenton Beach in November of last year. Bill Sheeran and Jack Clark received equal votes for the mayor position, so the election was determined in a card draw, which Sheeran won by pulling the higher card. The unconventional tiebreaker was even featured in the Netflix show Chelsea.
For the first time in its 146-year history, a female ringmaster will be running the show at the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Feld Entertainment announcing today Kristen Michelle Wilson will be the ringmaster for Circus Extreme. She beat out hundreds of candidates in a nationwide search to earn this prestigious role. Wilson will take the spotlight beginning January 12th in a performance at the Amway Center in Orlando. She will then join the national tour of Circus Extreme. Wilson will be the 39th ringmaster in Ringling Brothers history. Sounds like it's about time for a lady to take the reins, I would say.
It's the first thing I thought of. What's taken so long?
What's taken so long, right? But it's great that she gets to fill that first spot.
Finally happened. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, Silicon Valley comes to Trump Tower. Leaders from some of America's top companies meeting with the president-elect. The discussions and decisions made in New York.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus later in Health Smart, boosting your brain power, the type of exercise that is proven to strengthen your mind.
Hey, I'm really glad that you're taking a few moments to check out this video about the ministry of First Sarasota, Downtown Baptist Church. I'm William Hill, lead pastor here at First Sarasota. For the last 15 years, it's been my privilege to share in the life of this faith community, a community that centers itself around faith, friends, and family. Indeed, it is a ministry that's been in existence right here in this wonderful city for over a century.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
A poodle butter dish. I'll use this. A chicken purse. It's so artsy. You're really good at giving gifts.
This holiday, give the perfect gift.
Perfect.
Flowers, always the perfect gift. Beneva Flowers and Gifts, exceeding your expectations.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner. After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
VIPs continue to visit the president-elect in New York as Donald Trump finalizes his cabinet.
Today, Trump met with a specific group of business leaders. ABC's Karen Travers has the details on those discussions.
It's a Trump Tower Tech Summit. The president-elect sitting down with leaders from some of America's top companies.
I'll be there for you, and you'll call my people, you'll call me. It doesn't make any difference. We have no formal chain of command.
Silicon Valley is not exactly friendly terrain for Trump. Back in July, a group of more than 140 tech executives and entrepreneurs wrote in an open letter that Trump would be, quote, a disaster for innovation due to his views on immigration and the global economy. None of today's attendees signed that letter.
There's nobody like the people in this room.
Trump announcing Wednesday he's picked former Texas Governor Rick Perry to lead the Department of Energy, an agency he once said he would eliminate. And he's offered the Interior Secretary job to Montana Congressman Ryan Zinke, a retired Navy SEAL who's pushed for increased drilling. Both selections have been criticized by environmental and clean energy groups. But it's his pick for Secretary of State that's drawing bipartisan concerns over potential conflicts of interest. Last night, Trump launched a public defense of his choice to be the nation's top diplomat, ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson, who's had a long relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Rex is friendly with many of the leaders in the world that we don't get along with.
No surprise, the Russians have been effusive in their praise for the oil company's CEO.
It's like the Bond movie, From Russia with Love. He is getting more love from Russia and people in Russia than he is from the United States Senate.
Donald Trump has not yet announced his picks to lead the Departments of Agriculture and Veterans Affairs. Mike Pence says the work of the transition team will continue all the way into the holidays. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Karen, thank you. It's nice and sunny here on the Suncoast for the most part, but nearly half of the United States is facing winter weather alerts, a stretch of cold air sending chills from Maine to Nevada. In Michigan, whiteout conditions making visibility near zero at times, and even colder air is on the way there. Temperatures already well below normal for this time of year.
Absolutely, it can be dangerous. So we're thinking mostly in this scenario about frostbite and hypothermia, both of which can be very dangerous to life and limb.
And in upstate New York, a 12-year-old boy died and another one is recovering after they were pulled from a snowbank. Police believe a plow may have covered them as they played in the snow. We know winter weather can be dangerous, but we haven't actually hit official winter, right, Bob?
Right, it hasn't started yet. No, yeah, we've got a couple of days left. We are looking at basically the problem here is not so much the cold, it's the fog, and that's tough for travelers, but nothing like we just saw right there. That's devastating. Cold air is around, and it's still there. Get a look at some of these current temperatures at this hour. It's 4 in Minneapolis, Minot -2. Chicago, 15 degrees. That's the actual temperature. Detroit at 17. Cleveland, a little bit warmer, but not much. And then if you factor in the wind, it actually feels a lot colder in some places in this area. Here's the wind chill temperatures now, -14 in Minneapolis. The coldest one I see so far is Minot, North Dakota, -24 degrees. And this cold air is moving basically to the east. There's not much drop to the south. And that means we're not going to see any of that really here with this next cold front coming through us. The problem we've had is the fog. It's been around at times, tough going for drivers and mariners alike. And it looks as though some mid-level clouds to high-level clouds moving in right now. So it's not like the sea fog we saw roll in last night at this hour, but it's still out there. There's still a chance it will come into play later on tonight with the National Weather Service fairly certain that they will issue a dense fog advisory with the cold front well back to the north of us now. This front fairly stationary, but it is dropping to the south, so we'll see it move through here eventually by, say, after sunrise tomorrow, bringing with it just a 10% chance for a shower or two. Not much rain anticipated with it, and then behind it, cooler and drier air. And we'll separate these two numbers tomorrow evening. They'll be much farther apart, so less of a chance for fog tomorrow. West to southwest winds at 7. Those winds will eventually turn more to a northerly direction as well. 67 degrees now in Jacksonville, so behind the front. Temperature starting to drop, 64 now in Pensacola. It's 80, though, in Orlando, so they're still out ahead of that front. 81 now in Miami and 78 in Key West. Temperatures right near the coast because of the Gulf water temperature now in the upper 60s to low 70s, keeping temperatures right around that temperature if you go from Inglewood all the way up to Cortez and Bradenton. Inland areas, 80 degrees now in Sebring and also Wauchula fairly close at 79. The hourly forecast for tomorrow calls for temperatures still fairly close to seasonal averages. So despite the front, we're not going to get cold here. We're going to get back to average as far as the temperatures go. And there'll be more sunshine, less of a chance for fog, at least after we get through sunrise. Here's the fog outlook from a forecast model showing it moving on in. Visibility is dropping, especially after 11 o'clock. And then those winds start to turn to the north just after sunrise. And with that in store, we'll see some drier air settle in and that fog issue move out for at least a few days. Now, the satellite and radar imagery showing us, again, some fog out there in the Gulf of Mexico with a few showers to the north of us. No real big storm systems in the mix right now across the U.S. It's just this extreme cold, and you can see the leading edge of it extends all the way down into southern Indiana tonight. That's where the Arctic air mass is, and it continues to push due east for the most part, and that's the reason why the cold weather warnings are in effect for places like Ohio and Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois. For us, Futurecast showing that front falling apart. It comes down. Skies start to clear. That drier air moves in. But notice the clouds start to move quickly back to the east, to the west. And that means that we'll warm up pretty quickly, back in the low 80s as early as Saturday afternoon. More fog tonight. The northwest winds for boaters tomorrow, 10 to 15 knots, so picking up a bit. A moderate chop on the bays and inland waters for boaters over the weekend looks to be okay. Just a light chop both on Saturday and Sunday. Water temperature now 71, and beaches will see a high of 75 degrees tomorrow. Low tide upcoming just after 6 o'clock. The next low tide after that, 8:18, and sunset just before 6. Now, dense fog advisory more than likely issued later on tonight. Low visibilities, mostly fair above the fog, 65 for a low. And then tomorrow, morning fog burns off, partly cloudy skies, mild. Highs in the mid to upper 70s. Upper 70s while inland, mid 70s near the beaches. And the extended forecast does call for temperatures back in the 80s on Saturday and Sunday. A slight chance for a few showers comes on Monday. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Some breaking news into our newsroom at this hour. Yahoo says it believes hackers stole data from more than 1 billion user accounts. The company says this breach happened in August of 2013, and it is a different breach from the one it disclosed in September when it said 500 million accounts were exposed. Yahoo says the information stolen may include names, email addresses, phone numbers, birth dates, and security questions and answers. The company says it believes bank account information and payment card data were not affected by this breach. In Suncoast Traffic Watch right now, we don't see any crashes in the area, but I-75 is backed up in the northbound lanes right near Fruitvale Road and heading north from there. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, pump up the gray matter in your brain by getting your heart pumping. A new study shows participants who exercised aerobically 4 times a week for 6 months showed greater increases in brain volume versus those who only stretched. Also, participants in the aerobic exercise group showed improvement in their executive function, while participants in the stretching group did not. Executive function includes skills such as working memory, problem solving, and reasoning. The study was done by the Wake Forest School of Medicine on people with mild cognitive impairment. A study published in JAMA Ophthalmology shows smoking weed could affect a person's vision. The study focused on the retinal ganglion cells. It revealed that compared to the people who didn't use marijuana, those who did had a slight delay in how long it took information to be transmitted from the retina to the brain. It's not clear whether this potential side effect of marijuana is permanent or would stop when a person stops using the drug. Experts caution this study was small and much more research is needed. A growing trend for new moms, postpartum doulas. Doulas normally provide support during labor, but now it's becoming more common for them to also be hired to help moms in those tough weeks after birth when they might need some care for themselves. They can help with cooking, cleaning, running errands, and giving child rearing tips. Most certified doulas earn qualifications from organizations such as DONA International, and they're usually CPR certified. A postpartum care team is quite common in Europe and is now catching on stateside. Coming up, a semi-truck crash prompts an evacuation in Tennessee. The hazardous chemicals involved in this accident. Plus, a mail truck goes up in flames. How the driver was able to save the packages inside before firefighters arrived.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Flooring Depot has been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties for over 20 years with the best products and installation. Flooring Depot offers carpet, tile, hardwood, and more. Before you buy, give us a try. Stop by our showroom or visit us on the web at bestvaluecarpet.com.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called 3-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dotoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
Holiday scratch-offs are here, and oh, they make great surprises. Imagine the joy they will bring. With over $126 million in prizes, use them for a wreath or a place card for your feast. Attach them, scratch them, and let the magic happen. Holiday scratch-offs. The Florida Lottery has them. Just imagine.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
And so the best that I can do is pray. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck let a gentleman sing. Talking about how
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Now to a developing story in Middle Tennessee where emergency officials are dealing with a potentially dangerous hazmat situation. Families in at least 75 homes were evacuated while others were told to stay indoors and shelter in place. The warning's coming after a big rig transporting pool supplies, possibly chlorine, overturned just before 3 o'clock this morning, sending huge plumes of smoke into the sky. Emergency officials are worried the air could be toxic. For now, they are letting the fire burn itself out and are asking people to take caution.
So please be patient. Do not get out of your cars if you're stuck. Please, for your own safety, stay in your cars. Do whatever you can to just keep moving and be patient.
Emergency responders from the EPA have been called in to help. It's hoped residents can return to their homes sometime this evening. A 2-alarm fire heavily damages a hospital building that's under construction in New York City. This fire broke out around noon at NYU's Medical Center. You can see the flames and black smoke shooting from the roof. No one was hurt and the fire is out now. It's not yet known how it started. The new medical building was scheduled to open in 2018.
A mail carrier in North Carolina jumps into action to save some Christmas packages from his burning truck. The fire started in the truck's engine while he was out on delivery. You can see the driver ran to the back and he was fighting through the flames to save all of these gifts. Pretty amazing. Firefighters eventually arrived and took over. Many of these saved packages, you may recognize that logo there, they were from Amazon. And Amazon was so impressed with this rescue that it is donating money to the local fire department. Wow, good effort. I'm glad that they weren't hurt trying to do that, though. And a successful animal rescue is caught on camera in New Jersey. A pair of volunteers with the fire department had to crawl on their bellies to get a deer that was stuck in the ice. When they had to rely on a group of about 15 to pull the deer out of this icy water seen here, the police chief says to see something like this around Christmas time is quite amazing. Looks like a moose.
I was just going to say, that doesn't look like a deer to me.
Yeah, because I did read this story earlier. It is a moose, but...
A moose in New Jersey? I mean, that's a story, too.
I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of moose in New Jersey. I'm not really sure about that. We'll have to check into that. But still to come on your Suncoast News, more time to decide the rules for medical marijuana.
How a 6-month moratorium could affect regulations in Bradenton. That story coming up.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Kick off the season and find a unique holiday gift at the St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Over 100 artists and thousands of works of contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more. The 3rd annual St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Saturday and Sunday, December 17 and 18th at South Straw Park in St. Petersburg. Bring your sense of discovery and appreciation of the beautiful at the St. Pete Holiday of the Arts. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
A poodle butter dish. I'll use this. A chicken purse. It's so artsy. You're really good at giving gifts.
This holiday, give the perfect gift.
Perfect.
Flowers, always the perfect gift. Beniva Flowers and Gifts, exceeding your expectations.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.